Very good day everybody, welcome to another video. Today is going to be a live stream. I am your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko and I will be your captain for today. So as I said, we'll be doing a live VATSIM flight, and we're actually back in the Airbus, the A320NX fly-by-wire mode, and get some experience back with this one, and maybe do some better landings as we did last time, because we were flying the DC-6, which is still another steep of a learning curve. So today, back to the good old Airbus A32NX. It's the fly-by-wire mode. We're doing a flight out of Germany, Frankfurt airport, to Nikola airport in Belgrade, and we're sitting here on the VATSIM network and at the ramp or at the gate. So let's just get into the aircraft and let's see if we can get this all to work again. So the jetway has been connected, and that's about it. The simple flight plan has been loaded in the flight pad only. So let's just start up the aircraft. So we turn on the battery master switches. We'll be using the experimental version. It's the fly-by-wire experimental version. So let's hope it's not getting too experimental. Alright, so external power is there. That's good. Crew oxygen supply and ground control lights. And let's start up those aiders so the aircraft knows where it is in the world. So let's quickly run through the little lights and everything. Let's do the overhead integrated lights as well. You can turn on the no smoking sign. We arm the emergency exit lights. Does this go any further, this button? No. Okay, so that's it. As always get these displays a little brighter. And these two here as well. The upper recam and lower recam. So it's actually been a while since I've flown the Airbus, but I'm suspecting it must be a relief after struggling with the DC-6 for a couple of times. But I must say the DC-6 is an amazingly cool aircraft. It is absolutely cool. But today we'll be doing a simple flight. We've got this livery. I will show you outside. It's the Lufthansa livery. This is one that is available on the flightsim.to website. And this is the Lufthansa dirty version. Look, they made it all look a little bit worn out and dirty and used. You can see some leakage there, and you can see where the jetway sometimes connect and all that stuff. Actually, I'm not sure if it also connects on that side, but obviously this side is now occupied. So it's the Frankfurt airport. As I said, it's a flight on VATSIM. So maybe we could just see, because I noticed there was supposed to be a 80s online as well. Let's see if we can tune in. Maybe it's audible. 118025.
Zulu.
There you go.
Expect ILS approach runway 25 left, or ILSY approach runway 25 right. Runways in use 1825 center, 25 left and 25 right. Transition level 60. Wind variable 2 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers. Clouds. View at 700 feet. Broken 2,800 feet. Temperature 9, 2.7 QNH 1027 trend. No SIG Frankfurt information Delta. Out.
Okay, so we got information Delta.
Frankfurt information Delta. Met report time 1020 Zulu. Expect ILS approach runway 25 left. Or ILSY approach runway 25 right. Runways in use 1825 center 25 left and 25 right. Transition level 60. Wind variable 2 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers clouds. Skew at 700 feet. Broken 2,800 feet. Temperature 9. 2.7 QNH 1027 trend. No SIG Frankfurt information Delta.
It looks like the tower is online. Switch over to the tower.
Gidzenko Tower, hello. Info, Delta correct, Radar approved, Kid Leon, Niki 1 Lima departure, flight plan shoot, climb BSLE 4000, squawk 1000.
Niki 1 Lima departure, climb 4000, squawk 1000. Gidzenko.
Correct. Sign 920, taxi right Mike, Mike 8, hold short 25 center, hold at Katsu holding point.
Right on Mike, Mike 8, holding point 5 center, Katsu.
So for now I'm turning down the volume a little bit for the VATSIM. So stand by 1 second.
Support set number 1, pushback. Usually wouldn't lead one because you can taxi out, but if you like, pushback approved, face to it.
Tower, good morning, Combo 3704 Bravo 24 PDC, request push to start.
That's 3704 Tower low, divided 1 outboard check behind.
Okay, so try to turn down the sound a little bit for the V-pilot, the control channels. Okay, so you got information Delta, QNH was 1027 I believe. Let me just quickly double check the text version of the let's have a look here. 1027. Okay, so we got this. Let's just put it in straight away so we do not forget. So we got 1027. Let's turn on the constraints as well. So basically what we'll do now, we'll set up the MCDU. Let's check if we got all the correct data, aircraft status, the active AirX cycle is 4 November till the 1st of December. So we're sitting in the middle of that sort of. So that's fine. We got this covered, that's good. The flight plan, I will just import it straight from the SimBrief website. This flight plan is also in the comment section of the video, so you can see it there as well if you like. And there you can see we got Lufthansa 812 from Frankfurt to Belgrade. It's an estimated time en route of about 1 hour and 37 minutes. So we go to the init page, and there we will basically do the same init request, and it will populate some of the fields. So there's a slightly different information. There is the cost index, and we got the cruising altitude, flight level 230. Obviously we've not been cleared yet, but we will now go to the flight plan page. You can see there's already a flight plan loaded in there. Always check, I believe it's with the experimental version. Sometimes there will be a flight plan discontinuity, like here. Obviously you do not want to stop in mid-air for very obvious reasons. So you select clear and you click on flight plan discontinuity and it clears it out of the list, just like that. So let's go through the list one more time again. So at least there's no discontinuities, so that's good.
Morning, Ryanair 2303 radio check. Frankfurt Tower, Ryanair 2303 with information that time Alpha 16, boarding 738. Request IFR clearance to...
Okay, so let's have a look at our location. Chart does not support moving maps. Oh, that's marvelous. Okay, so can we have a look here maybe? I think we should be able to. No, really? Okay. So we have no clue where we are. I believe I put us... No, I don't know. Can we see outside? Or maybe we can check with the... I completely forgot what I parked this aircraft. I believe it was something. What was it? 4-1 maybe. It's right there in the like right next to the corner there. So let's see if we can find this on the chart. Oh, look, here it is. I was just checking the wrong chart then. It doesn't really say do we have the parking positions? So we're sitting at Alpha 11. Okay. Okay, so I actually have to go back to the chart because I'd like to see which runway. Okay, so we are here. Runways in use. 18, 25 center, 25 left, 25 right. So hopefully we get cleared for the 25 center. That would be obviously most convenient. We just go via November, Lima 3. That should probably be it. The instrument departure that we got from the Simri was the Cindy 2 Foxtrot. It's an RNF departure. Runway 25 center. Max 210 knots, 2500 feet, not below. See, this should probably working out fine. So let's go for it and assume we will get 25 centers. And they could give us the Yannick 1 Foxtrot, Cindy 2 Foxtrot, Maru 3 Whiskey, Maru 6 Foxtrot, Maru 7 Mike, Maru 9er Golf. 9er November, Diobok 2 Golf, OBOG 2 Mike, OBOG 3 Whiskey. I got quite a number of departures here. 4 November, UDET 3 Quebec, Sober 6 Papa. Well, let's just see. Zulu, Tau, Toba. Sometimes these controllers may, they may give you some departure and you're like, oh, what was this word? I did not anticipate. So that's why I'm sometimes just, go through the different wordings so that I at least have read them once. So I will not look like an idiot when they clear me by a completely different departure. Apology. So let's turn up the volume a little bit for the pilot. Hopefully it's not too loud. And we'll just do a little radio check to see if we can hear one another. Lufthansa Tower, good afternoon. Lufthansa 812 radio check, please.
First Papa Hotel, Papa 1, wind very regular 2 knots from 18 takeoff.
I called him Lufthansa Tower.
Berlin 601, lang is offline, 1 to Unicorn, goodbye.
1 to Unicorn, Berlin 601, thanks for spot, bye-bye.
Lufthansa 812, VQ5.
Thank you. Okay, so the reader's 5. That's good. Let's quickly see if there's an update on the 80s. That's information Delta still. Okay. Frankfurt Tower, Lufthansa 812, information Delta, we are at stand Alpha 11, Airbus 320, requesting IFR clearance to Belgrade.
Lufthansa 812, Delta correct, weather approved, cleared bay guard, Indy 4 Sierra departure, flight plan shoot, climb the SLE, 4,000 feet, squawk 2020.
Could you please repeat the departure for Lufthansa 812?
Lufthansa 812 is Indy 4 Sierra.
Cindy 4 Sierra departure, squawk 2020, Lufthansa 812. So we got the 4 Sierra departure instead of the 4 Sierra. Oh, so we're probably getting another runway. Let's see. So let's go back. Let's quickly have a look at the departures.
About the Papa 1, lang is offline, 1 to Unicorn, goodbye. Thanks for your help, bye-bye.
Here's the 4 Sierra.
Donald 3704, wind very regular 2 knots from 18 takeoff.
18, Delta Congo 3704.
So the 73 Tango, we are departing 767, line up 18 wait behind.
After passing 767, line up and wait 18, line up.
Cindy 4 Sierra is this one. You go here to Antics and to Cindy. So it looks like we may get another runway. From the looks of it, it's runway 18. There you go. So I put it in. Departure runway 18. The Cindy 4 Sierra, and we insert it into the flight plan. And then again we will check to see if there is any discontinuity. Like there you go, there is one. I believe this is only currently in the experimental version. I believe the stable version does not have this issue. Ever since SIM update 5, when I've been clicking multiple times, I don't know how many clicks, the mouse will just disappear. Like now, just go, I click but nothing happens, so I stop and then continue again. It's a little annoying. I do not see why this would be part of an update, but sure. So we got squawk 2020.
Tango and variable 2 knots, runway 18, clear for takeoff.
18 clear for takeoff, December Tango.
So the aircraft knows where we are, that's good. It's definitely been a while. Try to get back into the flow here. So we got the flight plan loaded in. We could maybe also just go ahead and put in the arrival. Let's just wait for now, we can do this while we're in the air. And didn't look like there was going to be any control in Belgrade. So we got the flight plan, there is no secondary right now, we will not need it right now. So we could go to the EDDF page and let's just load up the fuel first. So you go to the AOC menu, performance weight and balance page. Block fuel is 52908. I suggest we take 6300, a little bit of extra fuel. And we load it up and it's just magically loaded in an instant. You start the boarding, it's quite interesting. I think first we need to request from the flight plan.
Frankfurt, guten Morgen, Lufthansa 2, Papa Mike, Airbus A340, 600, Alpha 6, 2 information data on board, requesting IFR clearance to Miami.
Let me turn down the sound a little bit. Okay, so we'll start the boarding. We got 174 passengers on board today, so they're boarding now. Unfortunately, the tower is closing. You have a good day too, bye-bye. And at least wish the man a lovely day as well, yeah? Okay, so we need to go to the Unicom. The tower is going, unfortunately. 122.8. Let's just dial it in the way it's supposed to, just because it's cool. 122, oh no, 122.8. There we go, we're on the Unicom channel now. We're still boarding, so that's good. What else can we do? We go to the EDDF page. Block fuel 6.3. We put this in. Check the trip wind for today's flight. You go to your OFP, and you will see here the average wind component is plus 0.13. So we will have a tailwind of plus. I thought I heard myself say 0.23, but sorry, I have to double check now. 0.13. See, I heard myself echoing inside my head saying 0.23, but I saw that was 0.13. I got confused, so just check. And it's a plus and not a minus. Plus 0.13. So we got the tailwind going on there. And then finally, performance page, we will do a flap 1 takeoff. And the V speeds will be calculated for us. Transition altitude was 4,000. Let me check this one more time again. In the 80s. No, 6,000, not 4,000. So always good to double check. 6,000 transition altitude, so that's in. Okay, so everything here is set. So the aircraft is currently waiting the boarding. Everybody's on board. 174 people in like 3 minutes, so that's amazing. Okay, so go to the let's go to the flight plan page. Let's keep it on performance. Okay, so we are ready to start taxiing. Let us close the flight deck. Predicted wind shear. Let's see. We arm the ground spoilers. Flaps go to 1. TCAS goes to ARA. Alright, so that all looks good.
Traffic lift to Bravo Mike, Airbus A340 600, pushing back from Alpha 62, passing west.
So let's turn on the beacon lights, the wing lights, and let's start up the APU. The passengers are on board, and we got fuel, so we're going to turn on the seatbelt signs as well. APU starting up now.
Guys, can anyone give me a relay check? 555. Thanks.
Here they say transition altitude 5,000, but we'll go by the 6,000 that we got from control. Initial climb clearance is 4,000. Okay, so let's just do this. Initial climb 4,000. So for the rest it should then be fine, I guess. Let's have a look at the fuel on board. 6280, that's correct. APU is now available. So let's turn on the APU bleed and we can turn off the external power. Now we have to watch out because I've noticed a couple of times the aircraft would all of a sudden start pushing itself back. And which is obviously something that we do not want. For now it seems to behave itself, so that's good. Let's turn on the fuel pumps. And if we're still good, we should be able to start pushing back. Let's have a little look outside. This is interesting. You zoom out and the jetway is connected. You zoom in and the jetway gets disconnected. a little bit scary, so let's just see if we can close the door. Because we do not, we no longer need the jetway anyway. We can go, door forward, that should close, let's give a confirmation. The seat closed there. There's also the door page, and it will display the lower ECAM, and you can see there is no red or yellow. That's, all the doors are closed, so that's good. Put this on flight control for now. So we got our departure route loaded as well. I think we should be good to go. So let us call up the tug. As you can see, the tug is coming. So let us release the parking brake. And go reverse. Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 812, pushing back from stand Alpha 11.
So traffic is now to Mike Airbus A340-600, taxi northbound runway 25 center Lima via November 8, no.
Oh, that's the wrong direction. So with this add-on installed, you can use your rudders during the pushback, which is actually quite convenient for the simulator. And let us stop the pushback now, like this, and the tug is dismissed. Thank you very much, tug. First things first, and we set the parking brake immediately. Okay, so we're on internal power. So now let's start up the engines. So we're starting engine number 2.
Frankfurt Target, clear up 537, pushing back from gate 5222 and taxi runway 18.
Okay, so engine number 2 is now available. There you go. Got one engine. Going to start up engine number 1. Oh, cannot get the controls right. Something like this. Look at the big clouds behind us, man. so that the engine starts spinning. And there's the famous click, and around 19.4. It's 19.2 today, but then it reads available, so that's good. So yeah, unfortunately the tower is going to enjoy Saturday. Well, that came out wrong. You can never say unfortunately this and such is enjoying. It is always good if people are enjoying. But you know what I mean, obviously. Fortunately for the stream and for the video and for the immersion, the tower is closed down.
Frankfurt traffic is now to make up A320-600 Lima 1, lining up on the 2% and departing. Departure.
So I hope this weather is not going to be too big of a problem with regards to the frame rates. It does look pretty. It's a real world time, real world weather, by the way, if I did not say this. So we got our initial climb of 4,000 feet. Let's see. So let's turn on the nozzle steering lights and the taxi lights. Notify the crew that we're about to taxi.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
No, we're not taking off just yet. Let's see. Anything else for now that I'm forgetting? It's actually been a while. I guess should be fine, and if not, we just crash. Okay, so now we just orient ourselves. Let's see, airport. So if we're going to runway 18, which is all the way over there. Also really simple, we just go forward, we hop onto the November taxiway. Just follow it all the way to the holding point. Let's see, there's November 17, no.
Frankfurt traffic Lufthansa will make up A340-600 departing.
For the departing traffic at 2 passengers.
Frankfurt traffic is notable Mike, airborne passing 1200.
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 812, taxiing from Alpha 11 to via November to runway 18. Yeah, that came out a little insecure there. I'll have to talk to my psychiatrist again. Okay, so if you give it a little nudge, sometimes like this, it just jumps up. So this should be a little better. So release the parking brake and we taxi. My apology. Let's see, this should just go straight onto the November. So let's have a look here.
Traffic cadence 527, rolling on runway 18.
On November we take a right here.
Traffic 918, taxi 185 November 8
It's not the most beautiful weather down here, but in not too long we'll be flying above the weather, or above the clouds really. You will never be above any kind of weather. So let's take it easy on the taxi speed, ground speed. Okay, so let's just pull it back a little bit. So there is some more traffic to the right. Still got a little bit to go. So they are giving us the right of way. Thank you, Captain. Hope you have a good flight. Bye bye. Okay, so that was nice. So we are taxiing from the out of the Frankfurt airport. So in the meantime, we do a little bit of the flight control check. Full left, neutral. Full right, neutral. Let's look up ahead for a bit. Okay. Speed, let's brake a little bit.
Traffic information, right there, 2303, starting our taxi,
Full up.
November 7, November, and holding point runway 18.
Okay, so we got our flight control checks completed as well. There's some aircraft standing there. What is this? Cathay Pacific, okay. Let's check the airport chart here. We still got a little to go. Not sure where we turn left. You'll probably see it when we get there. Sometimes it can get a little bit confusing. Our taxi speed 24 knots, so that's fine. Try not to go over 30 knots, because usually you just piss people off. There's a DC-6. That's quite cool. The British Airways. Let's try and stay on the center line. Do not want the other captain laughing at us. It's probably a little too late now. Yes, let's take it easy. What do we have here? Well, one Sierra was a little bit fast for me. Where would be the runway? November 16. Let's slow it down a little bit more. Have a look, see what this all looks like. Should Probably just be able to continue straight. Let's keep it going. Well, we got traffic behind us. Sorry, Captain. Oh, it's getting close. I'm going. Please bear with me. Just trying not to cause problems, almost causing them. Let's have a little look outside. It's a minor cheat, if you will. Okay, so we can just use this as the holding point then. That's cool. Okay, so let's stop right here. Let's have a look to the right if we can see any traffic. Looks clear. What's the plane behind us? Okay. Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 812 holding short runway 18, lining up for departure. So let's line it up and let's depart. Oh, aircraft is on our tail there. So it's nice, it's a little busy. I like it. Feels good. The aircraft behind us will follow us shortly. Okay, so let's see if we can get this going. Quickly, we turn on the landing lights and the takeoff lights as well. And now we notify the crew that we're going to take off and turn on the max braking lights, or turn on the max brake. So let's just go now. Look at us go, man. So we're finally flying the Airbus again. V1 rotate. Pitch up to about 170 degrees. Like there, hold it there. We got positive rate, gear up please. Gear is coming. Turn on the autopilot. Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 812 clear of the runway. Okay, the thrust levers go back to climb. I love the sound in this latest experimental version, man. Sounds really cool. Totally loving it. Okay, so the initial climb was 4,000 feet. We're still climbing. It's good. We watch the green S there to retract the flaps. We're turning left now. It's good as well. We did not turn off the packs, but it's fine. The takeoff light here can go, and the nozzle steering light as well. Flaps up. Wow, that looks cool, man.
Traffic information, Brian 2303 at Focus Point, 18, flying up.
Okay, so looks like we're at about 4,000 feet now. So let's climb 130. So we're reaching the transition altitude. So there we will switch over to standard QNH. There you go. And all of a sudden all the clouds are now below us. There's a couple of stray clouds there, really tiny ones, not really sure what to do, making up their mind. Shall we dissolve or shall we just join our friends below? Maybe these guys are like the pioneers of pushing the envelope of clouddom, but who knows. Yeah, so with regards to the Unicom usage, I must admit I'm not sure when your information sharing becomes a little TMA. Obviously some basics you will need, you know, like we are here now, like when you're on the ground and stuff, or when you're starting to land and approach, but I think for this part of the flight probably should be fine. But let's just keep on monitoring it in any case. So
information, Ryanair 2303 taking off runway 1.
So the altitude for the cruising is 230. So just dial it in. Cruising altitude 230. The altitude now, we're above 10,000 feet, so we can get rid of the landing lights as well. So we retract them. The APU can go off. And let's turn off the seatbelt sign there. And we are on our way to Belgrade. it looks like there might be some more control online, so let's have a look. Please contact me on 135.720. So let's do this. Let's have a look at who they are.
Information Romeo Current, expect at 5 left.
Het is lang in de radar.
QNH 1026.
QNH 1026, expect at 5 left.
Good afternoon,
Serbia 1002, Langen Hello, identified. Expect at 5 left.
Gapno, NOMBO, LVAC, Rigset. Okay.
ELS 25 left and QNH 1026.
Serbia 1002, turn right heading 090.
Winding 190.
Long radar, good day, Lufthansa 600, request my parking, right.
Serbia 1002, turn right.
So this controller is quite busy now.
Right heading 090.
Lufthansa 630, Langen Hello, information Romeo, Saddam Cruise, clear to Dubai via Bindi, Malta departure, flight per route, stand by since 4000 for 2005.
So we're going to contact the Langen radar momentarily. They just asked us.
Ryanair 2303 at level 140, Aleki 1 Lima. Ryanair 2303, Langen Hello identified, flight at level 230. Flight 230, Ryanair 2303.
Langen radar, Lufthansa 812 with your flight level 230, 1.4 nautical miles from Gapno.
Lufthansa 812, Langen Hello identified. Confirm this your time.
Please come again, Lufthansa 812.
Lufthansa 812, confirm this is your final level.
I do not understand this, man.
Lufthansa 812, Langen Radar, confirm flight level 230 is your final level.
Flight level 230 is our final level, that's correct, sir. Lufthansa 812.
Lufthansa 812, roger, in that case, you're leading ramp base, monitor Unicom field.
Okay, Unicom, Lufthansa 812, thank you, good day, sir, bye-bye.
Lange red with us now, for us office 603, which is now flight 250.
Transavia 6603, Langen Hello identified, flight level 390.
Okay, so let's turn that down. Okay, so we can go back to the Unicom. Let's do it here. Quick and dirty, you know. Okay, so apparently we're outside of this guy's airspace 230. Which is fine, we're just chilling. We're on our way to Belgrade. Or Belgrade. Let's have a look at the flight plan ahead. It's fine. Usually they will just give you. You can skip a couple of steps. In this case, they just set me free. They caught a fish and they said, no, not like it. You can go back. You go swim. So this is a smoking flight. Well, at least here up on the flight deck, you're allowed to smoke. The thing in the back, you might get into some trouble, really. You know, like back in the day, you could actually smoke. You know, you could have smoking or non-smoking seats. That was quite interesting. So the departure was fine. We're well above the clouds now. I'm glad to be back in the 320 again. I've been flying a lot of DC-6s lately, and they are quite challenging, to be fair. There's a whole lot of work involved, and the Airbus basically it flies itself. Well, within limits, of course. So let's go back to our chill window. There's another one on this side. Which was interesting because 230 it seemed a little bit of a low cruising altitude to me. But it is how it is, I'm fine with it. So while we are cruising, I'll be stepping away from the flight deck for a minute or three. Let me first check the situation in the flight deck. Everything seems to be fine. 230, yeah, it does seem rather low. We're not even on the Mach speed yet, but let's see, this should actually be managed. I'm not sure why it is not, but we're at cruising altitude with speed and we're following lateral navigation. Once I get back we should start looking at our top of descent. It is still a ways out, but yeah. Okay, so airplane's still going. That's the most important thing. Okay, so in the meantime, enjoy the flight and we'll be back momentarily. Okay, so we're still flying, I see. I'm actually changing waypoints as it looks. So speed 290, altitude 230, flight level 230. Okay, so let's have a look at our approach and the descent. Let me first quickly check and see if Belgrade might be or get online soon or anything like that. Don't think so. I think we'll be alone, and if not, we'll see when we get there. Okay. So the arrival that we received was the RIGMU 2 Charlie, and see which was the runway for that. Oh, we can look in here. I will show you. So you go to the flight pad. This is obviously not in the standard 320 for Microsoft. It's the fly-by-wire version. But you'll have your flight plan in here and all the other information. So runway 30, the RIGMU 2 Charlie arrival. So let's just start by putting that in. ILS 30, that's good. RIGMU 2 Charlie arrival. And then we just click insert, and it is in now. We return to the flight plan, and first things first, immediately check to see if there are now flight plan discontinuities. It looks fine. Let's just go over it from the top to the bottom again. So that looks good. So we have the arrival programmed in. So let's have a look at the charts then. This can be on-pinned and it can go. This one can be on-pinned and it can go as well, and the same goes for the taxi chart here. Stop pin and remove it. So we open the charts list for the departure, for the arrival airport, the Belgrade Nikola Tesla. See, so approach, see, first the star. So the RIGMU 2 Charlie, where's the RIGMU 2 Charlie? There's this one, the RIGMU 2 Charlie, put a pin in it. We also want a chart for the approach, so the ILS approach for runway 30, put a pin into that one as well. The airport layout for Belgrade is fairly simple. Nonetheless, it's always nice to have the chart ready. So 30 will be landing at 30 this direction. We'll probably exit the runway either here or at the Bravo ATM. We'll see this as soon as we get there, obviously. Now with regards to the arrival, what do we want? See, we will be coming from RIGMU, there we go. And we got the RIGMU 2 Charlie, which means that from RIGMU, is there any constraints yet? Doesn't look like it. RIGMU 2 Charlie, might be, they mean this is 7,000 feet. Go to the Panchevo, and then 5,000 feet I would assume. and then carry on 5,000 feet. It's an RNF, so these are just waypoints on your GPS. 5,000 feet and 4,000 feet to VSOC. So it looks like the first constraint that we are encountering would then be 7,000 feet at RIGMU. We'll remember this, or at least we'll remember to look it up again. Let's have a look at the final approach chart for Belgrade. Decision altitude 533, airport elevation 336, runway 333 feet. Transition altitude 10,000 feet. And from VSOC will be 14.3 DME from the Belgrade VOR. Is it the VOR or is that the BGT? Let's see, yeah, I think so. Yes. And the glide slope begins at 2,840 feet. So 7,000 feet is our initial constraint, if you will. Let's have a look what they say here. RIGMU to Charlie, RIGMU, PA. Okay, and then we got all these waypoints all the way up to VSOC. This will take us, I think, by the looks of it, this will take us a little bit over the town center here. That's pretty cool. A dear friend of mine lives here as well, so maybe we can wave at her. Okay, so RIGMU 7,000 feet. So basically what we'll do, let's go to the progress page and we type in the RIGMU waypoint, and you put it there, and you will now see the distance from our current location to this waypoint RIGMU. It is 305.4 nautical miles. Now we do a little calculation. It is nothing too crazy really. Our altitude is 230. And we want to descend. We can actually use the calculator there as well. I'll show you in a minute. So the altitude is 230 or 23,000 feet. We want to go to 7,000 feet. So there's a difference of 16,000 feet. Basically, you 16 times 3, and sometimes you add 10, but that's 48. So it could be like 48 or 49 nautical miles before RIGMU, you will start your descent. So let's also have a look at the calculator that comes with the fly-by-wire. So current altitude, it's synced, and target altitude is 7,000 feet. Here they say it's about 50 nautical miles. So with the 48 or the 49 with the added 10, we actually figure it's about 50 nautical miles. So we'll just do that. We do have some tailwind, so we might even maybe have to start a little earlier because we're being blown forward into the direction of our waypoint. So RIGMU is already on the screen, on the navigational display right here, but it's still quite a ways out. But at least now we know what to do and when to do it. So in about 250 or 260, am I correct? No, let's say in about 230-ish nautical miles we should start our descent. Basically as soon as this reaches 50 nautical miles. So there's some mountainous area. Let's just look outside for a little bit. say I like flying not too high. We get to enjoy some of the landscape. You can also check if there's any other radio stations nearby. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we wait for our 50 nautical miles and then we will start our descent. We will need a weather report as well. Let me quickly get a new drink. In the meantime, let's have a look outside the window and I'll be right back. And we'll see if we can find the weather information for our arrival airport. Okay, so we are back then. Enjoying a little mountainous European mountain ranges. Loving it. So the range is 264 nautical miles. We still got a ways to go. There's a couple of options I'd like to try. Since the SIM update 7, you should be able to get METAR from the flight sim. Obviously not really sure how it's going to do. Select an airport from the following list. Yeah, so it's just using the most nearby. Can we make this a little bigger? Well, we cannot make this part bigger then. So why do we need to make this bigger? If we still have to scroll through this. Is it just my reasoning? Oh look, it's okay, let's just forget about Microsoft. Or Asobo for that matter. Sorry Asobo, but some of your choices seem very difficult for some people to understand. We're definitely thankful for a lot of the other stuff that you did. Not only talking about the scenery, the flight dynamics and everything. I mean, it's an amazing product, really. But some things sometimes are like totally do not make sense. But it's fine, such is life as well, right? You know, and you know, it doesn't hurt to realize that we are living in first world country, well, at least here in the West. So it gets relatively easy for us to complain about all kinds of things, you know. So doesn't hurt to be grateful every once in a while. Anyway, so we just resort to the, we'll actually rely on the MCDU. You go to the MCDU menu, you go to the ATSU, and you hit it when you hit the button there. AOC menu, and you go to the weather request meter for both the airports. It is sending. And we'll wait for the message here to pop up, company message. There you go. You refresh it by going out and in. Here's the meter we printed. It's now being printed out on a piece of paper. What we can see now, 12 degrees, 1024, 290 at 9 knots. So this is information that the MCDU would like to know. It likes us to put this in at the approach page. And the baro as well, we'll come back to that in a bit. So let's have a look at what we printed out and just enter the information. So 1024. I got 12 degrees. And we got 290 at 9 knots for the wind. What else was there? Transition altitude was 10,000 feet, I believe it was set so on the chart. Let's double check this immediately. Transition altitude 10,000 feet. So you go to the chart. I believe it's not. I believe it was on this one. Transition altitude 10,000 feet. There you go. And for the ILS, let's have a look. So yeah, we could put in the 533 feet decision altitude. It's sitting there now happily. So it's now calculating for us, and it says that the approach speed will be 125 knots. Could maybe change. Let's see, this was issued on the 20th of the month at 11:30 Zulu. So there might be a new one every half hour or every hour. Usually I believe it's every half hour, at least that I notice in the flight simulator. There's some low clouds there. Looking cool, man. What's our position? We're still not there yet. 231 nautical miles to RIGMU. Alright. So that's a good excuse for me to roll a pre-descent rolling cigarette. So that's precisely what we're going to do. I believe earlier the TCAS system was working. Obviously the experimental versions that we're using right now, sometimes they remove some features temporarily because they're working on something and they put some other function in and take it out and whatever. These guys are working around the clock, really. It's amazing. Sometimes they have 2 updates in 24 hours, like every 12 hours there's an update. Not sure if it's always the case because I do not even check as much as they update, you know, but they definitely do update quite a lot. So that's cool because it's a team of volunteers basically. Nobody's paying them, and there's actually quite some real-world pilots involved in the process as well, in the development. And yeah, so you know, I've said this before. If you ask me, they're just doing it out of love for the aviation and for the simulation of it. And you know, that is just commendable. It's beautiful to see this in a world where, you know, people are trying to put a dollar sign on anything they can, you know. And there's this group of people just saying, you know what, screw it. This just needs to be perfected. They will like it. And yeah. And they do not charge you a single penny. So that's definitely commendable. And not only that, of course, I mean, there are more free of charge products or services for all kinds of games and simulations and what have you. But it's also a good product. You know, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a huge improvement on the standard 320 from Asobo. And to be very frank, ever since I started flying this airplane and the DC-6 and the Piper Arrow and the Piper Warrior, the CRJ 500 and 700, the Coronado PA-44, you know, all these kinds of payware aircraft, with the exception of this then, they all work fine, and they work well. They work really nice, and basically everything that you can click inside the cockpit, every system seems to work. And obviously I'm not a real-world pilot, so I do not know the difference if anything is not working or is working slightly differently. But if you then use all these aircraft and you go back to another aircraft that's, you know, the vanilla version from Asobo, and you want to click something and you're like, oh yeah, this button is just a dummy, you know, it just doesn't work. And obviously, you know, the flight simmers, we like to be able to do anything. We like to be able to break the aircraft while we're trying to fly it, you know what I mean. And so yeah, that in that sense, it's actually, we get a little bit spoiled with really good products, but it's very good. Flight sim history has always had a lot of community-based add-ons, which enrich, you know, the experience for everybody. Same as what we're doing now. We're flying on the VATSIM network. At this moment, there is no one in our vicinity manning the stations, but very well could be. And then you'd be having radar chatter all throughout your flight, for instance, and even take part in it. And this is also something that is not done by Asobo itself or by the old Microsoft simulators. This is just an external development from coming from the community, and that's really cool. And so it's always been like that. I'm really glad to see there's so much going on like that, and there's a lot more coming as well. There's some. There is another one, another Airbus A320 coming. It would not be the A320neo. Oh, what was it again? I forgot, but it's an A320 as well. It's from a developer called Phoenix, F-E-N-I-X, and that's going to be a payware, and apparently it's supposed to be study level. So yeah, we'll see it when it's released. Yeah, so if I'm not broke by the time they do release it, I definitely might purchase it and start using it. So 188, do I see correctly? Yes, 188 nautical miles. So let's have a look outside for a bit at our dirty Lufthansa. So as I said earlier, the livery is called something like Dirty Lufthansa or something, or Dirty Livery, Dirty Version, something like that. It's on flightsim.to. All of a sudden I'm seeing this bright spot there. What is that? Shall we see if we can get a closer look? Maybe go showcase and external like this. Oh, what's going to happen now? I don't know, we are God knows where. Let's reset position. Well, this is going to take some time. Should just go straight there, right? Drone lock. Drone follow mode. No, it won't have it. Reset position, free camera, camera drone. I do not really understand what's going on here. Oh, drone focus is this. No, that's something else. Auto, manual. Disable. Zoom level, we don't care about for now. Drone speed, well. We cannot reset position. Help. Why can't we reset it? Help. Help. Okay, so I'm afraid that boat has failed. Nope. The aircraft starts. The simulator started making weird sounds, so let's just not break it. So close to our destination. So in about 110 or something miles, we should start our descent. Let's have a look then, see if there's any radio control or online. No, nothing yet. So we could maybe check and see if there's a new weather report. Let's just zoom it in like this. So we go to the AOC menu, ATSU, AOC, and there we choose the weather request and we send it. Because as I said earlier, this one was issued at 11:30 Zulu. So hopefully a new one is updated now. We got an updated one, I mean. Waiting. There you go. This is at 1200 Zulu. So let's print it. Let's see, are there any differences? 1 degree warmer, 13 degrees, 1023. 300 at 10 knots. Okay. Forgive my poor camera angle work sometimes. So we go to the performance page, go to the approach page, and we enter 1023. We enter 13 degrees for the temperature. The wind was 300 at 10 knots. And transition altitude obviously is not changed, and neither has the decision altitude. Okay, so at least we got a little bit of an update there. in about 10 minutes. Hopefully we'll get a new update as well. 139 nautical miles. This is a song that I wrote. It's a song that I wrote for a beautiful girl, friend of mine who lives in Belgrade. So that's enough of that for now. Let's put the guitar away. Let's have a look at our location. Progress page, we're 114 nautical miles. And the time is 12:23, 12:24. Zulu, okay. Well, the ground spoilers are still armed. They've been armed the whole flight. I should have done the after takeoff check, and these can be turned off as well. The flaps were obviously already up. Yeah, you know, when I fly these things every day, I do not forget it as easily, and sometimes when I do not do it for a while, these little things I just start forgetting. So can you imagine if you're a real pilot and you're sitting at home because of the pandemic and your airline is not allowed to fly it and all that stuff, you know? They have to do some serious training, you know? So they're just sitting at home and then they go to the simulators and they train just to keep, you know, keep sharp, keep steady, keep ready, you know. Let's have a look at the charts and just see, just check the world chart. I'd like to know where we are. Okay, so we're already past Zagreb. So here's our arrival routing. We fly over Novi Sad, Pančevo, Smederevo, and then we take a right turn on to Belgrade. It's pretty cool. Let's go back to our location. So yeah, the arrival chart is not all that the arrival is not all that complicated. It's an RF, as I said. The GPS is simply going to follow some waypoints. Now let's have a look to see what to do in case of a missed approach. That's always interesting, and there's some extra text there as well. We could start by putting in the Belgrade DOR. Basically what they're saying, missed approach, you climb straight ahead to DME 3 from Belgrade, and then you turn left, climbing to OBR NDB to 3,000 feet, and then you hold there. Okay. So what does this look like? You climb straight ahead to 3 DME, so 3 DME from the Belgrade, then you turn left to the OBR NDB, which is this one, the Belgrade OBR 355, and 3,000 feet, and there you hold. You fly a holding pattern. I'm not familiar with flying the holding patterns, really, not yet. But let's see what we can put in the NavRap page. So we got the BGD, it's 112.05. So probably if you just put in Belgrade BGD, then it should recognize it automatically. So Belgrade, put it into the VR1, and it will ask you which one is it, because there are duplicate names. You can see here by the frequency that it's the top one. You can also see the distances to all the other available VORs. So we choose the closest one in this case. And let's also put in the course. Would be 2907, 2906, here they say. Let's see. Yeah. I'm going to say 2906. And the NDB you put in your ADF. 355 OBR, I'm not really sure what to put in. Let's see. Oh, okay, so 355. See, can we put in OBR /355? Does it work like that? Entry out of range, okay? If we put in OBR, and then it says 355, so that's good as well. Thinking we should actually maybe put it in the other field. So we could have them on both at the same time. Not really sure if you can clear out the first one. That's nice, look at that. What you see is what you get. Okay, so now basically what we have, let's quickly check if we can start our descent now. 70 nautical miles. What's the time? 12:30. Let's do a weather check real soon. Usually they're not immediately, I noticed immediately at the top at the half of the hour, but basically what we just did, I can put in the VOR here and then put in the EDDF here. So then we can see them here on the charts, no, sorry, not on the charts, but on the navigational display. We still got plenty of fuel on board, that's cool. So yeah, in case we do have a missed approach, basically we'll just keep on going. As soon as this Belgrade DME starts reading 3 DME, 3 nautical miles, we turn left and we head straight for the Belgrade NDB, and I believe they just vector you from there or whatever. There is some high terrain here, 3,200. So I'm not really sure how this would work out. But obviously this would be managed by ATC. This is something else here between Vizok and JL locator in meter approach 180. I'm not going to go into that right now. Well, there's nothing too interesting, I mean nothing too challenging for now. It's just going to be a really simple approach. Obviously the landing should be performed correctly. And that is up to the pilot. So 55 nautical miles, we still have a tailwind, I would assume. Not fully, but I'm going to start the descent nonetheless. So we start descending to 7,000 feet. Let's just zoom in. No, this just doesn't work at all. My bad. Okay, so 7,000 feet. And let's have a look at if this is doing what we requested it. It says we are on open descent, thrust to idle, and still following navigation. So that's precisely what we want. Zoom in a little more. Keep it this for now. So yeah, in the Airbus and lots of other airliners, when you're descending, your thrust levers they just go to idle, or at least your thrust settings. The actual levers are not on idle; we're still on the climb detent. But the fly-by-wire system does bypass the setting, the physical setting here, and does still tell the engines or request the engines to go to thrust idle. So that's what's happening. So the N1 is like really low, it's at idle 29% right there, and we're just descending. But if you're flying for instance like the DC-6, you'd be at your full cruising speed, nose down 1,000 feet per minute. We're going 2,200 feet per minute now. But yes, we're finally descending. Let's check the time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you say? Let's have a sip of my soft drink. There you go. Okay. So let us see if there is a new weather report, so that we can update our MCDU with regards to the final approach. Weather request, requested, sent, so we just wait now. It's so peaceful and quiet now. Just idling, gliding on down. So let's see, received messages, we click the meter. When was this report? 1200 still. Okay, so this is still the one that we already had. So this one's 1200 Zulu. Oh, let's see. So yeah, as I said, you know, the weather report apparently is issued at 1200 Zulu. Or 1230 Zulu, I expect, but it's already 1236, and it's still not. We still not get it. Not really sure why this is. I would assume in real life it would be completely different. Obviously, just do it again. The VOR for the Belgrade VOR is kicking in. It's 75 nautical miles ahead. Let's see what the new message says. It's still 1200. Okay, so let's just keep it this for now. So we're aiming for 7,000 feet. You can see this here, flight level 070. Should not be flight level, right? I mean, the transition altitude is 10,000 feet, so it should be 7,000 feet, 070 just. So as soon as we cross 10,000, it's the transition altitude. The STD for standard, it's not sexual transmittable disease, it means standard. It will start flashing at us, reminding us that we should change the QNH to the local. The last QNH we had was 1023. What you could do is set this one to 1023 already, because you at least have a secondary readout of your altitude above the ground level. So we're nearing 10,000. No, it's going a little slower here. So let's just wait for that. That's fine for me for now. And I'm going to request yet another weather report. And maybe if we don't get it now, we wait until it's 12:45 or something. So we go to the received messages. There's nothing there. There's the new one just popped in. It's 1200 Zulu still, so we're still going by the same one. So I think the reason that we're slowing down in the descent is that the speed has also slowed down. It's dropped to 250 knots. There you go, starts flashing at us. STD, STD, STD. Oh my god, no. Okay, so we go back to local QNH and we set it for 1023. And this gives us an altitude now of 6,800 feet. So we're still descending to 7,000. Let's also have a look at some speed constraints, perhaps. Not a bad idea. For here, for now, we'll still be flying RIGMU and then the whole sequence. Once we reach Belgrade 312, we should be at maximum 230 knots. The next one, 301, is 210 knots, where we go to VSOC. And then from there, let's see if there's any information there as well at VSOC. There's no speed constraints noted there. So it should just probably be regular speed management that you would do to flying the aircraft that you're flying. So we're good at 250 all the way up until Bravo Echo 312. Let's have a look at the situation now. So we were already below 10,000 feet, so let us turn on the landing lights and the seatbelt signs go on. So we're about to level out now at 7,000 feet. And then there you go, speed mode's kicking in. So we're no longer at idle because it's time now to maintain 250 knots, which is not possible when you're doing level flight. The engines are running at idle, obviously. Here you can see our arrival route as well. Let me quickly see if we can zoom in a lot more. It doesn't really resolve. Okay, so it's no problem. At least the ILS is there. Let's turn on the landing system. Well, let's just maybe... No, let's wait a little bit until we pass this point here. Just to prevent the Airbus, because not really sure how it works. Sometimes it starts the approach phase a little early. In cases where you're flying over the airport or something and it says, oh, here's the ILS signal, so and then it just starts going to the approach phase. Here in your performance you can see which phase you're in. You are now in descent phase stage. Then comes the approach, and we do not want to fly the approach right now because it's going to drop the speed, like going to flight 140 knots all the way. That's not what we would like, obviously. So we're still at descent there, so it's good. That's what we want. So we're holding at 7,000 feet. So when did we descend then? Let's look at that again. 5,000, 5,000, so we're flying the RIGMU to Charlie. So we'll be flying to Papa Alpha, the Panchevo NDB. And from there we go to 5,000 feet. So that's 51 nautical miles. Let's check the time. 4:03, so let's wait like 2 more minutes and then we see if we can get our latest weather report. It's the dirty Lufthansa. There are some clouds. Unfortunately, we're not flying visual approach. So it could be, for all I care, it could be completely covered in clouds and mist and everything. And would still make, except maybe for the frame rate that would kill us. But you can see that both the NDB has kicked in and the VR. The VR already kicked in earlier. The automatic direction finder has also received the signal from the OBR NDB. Oh, This is how we do it. There we go, and I can now reset position. Finally. Okay, so let's see if we have time to quickly check something. Because I saw something, I saw like an opening. Let's go down a little. And it appears that some light was coming from it. I'm not really sure what this is. So that's Belgrade for you people, right there. So let's go back into the flight deck now. Let's see what we're looking at. We're still in descent stage, fortunately. That's good. Can we zoom in one notch? Well, let's just do it. So we're still holding 7,000 feet. So as soon as we reach PA, we should. So I'm not really sure, should we be at PA, let's see, this is in 7 minutes. I'm not really sure, let's have a look at the chart, and I'll tell you what I'm wondering. This leg, it says 5,000 feet. So I think actually it would be logical to assume that departing from this leg, from this point at the beginning of this leg, we should be at 5,000. If that is the case, we need to make sure that we reach 5,000 at Pančevo. Shouldn't be too hard. We could choose vertical speed with, for instance, if we put it on 2,000 feet per minute, we can do it like when it's 1 minute left. And after that, we stay on 5,000, and then we reduce speed to reach 230 max at 312, and we reduce to 4,000 feet. Unless you are not, yes, I'm not really sure. There's two scenarios that I can imagine. If this says 5,000, you could assume that it's no, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just a guideline or what. I'm not going to worry my pretty little head about this right now. I mean, the landing's going to work out fine anyway. I was just wondering if you'd be too high here. If this says 5,000 and you're descending to 4,000, are you now too low on this leg? You know what I mean? So, but you know, we're talking like increments of 1,000, so it's peanuts. It's fine. And there are no real constrictions here, like lines, altitude lines. You can see them in other charts sometimes. So it should be fine. I was just wondering. So we just carry on. We're 4 minutes away from the Pančevo, right there. See now if there is a new weather report one final time. Weather request and request it. Time is 12:50, so it would be 15 to 20 minutes late if we get it now. Use a new one, and this is from 12:30, so that's good. So print it out, go to the performance page. This is printing for us. Performance page, next phase is approach, and what are they saying? Issued 1230 Zulu, 330 at 10 knots, that has not changed. 1023 has not changed, and 13 degrees has also not changed. So it's actually the same weather report, but at least we know it's still accurate. It was still accurate 20 minutes ago. We're still in descent stage, so it's good, happy with that. We're 2 minutes from the Panchevo, so let's slowly, let's say vertical speed. How are we going to do this again? Is this now dropping us? Yes. That's right, you should maybe also set it for 5,000. Okay, so we're going, so we have 2 minutes. So should be at 5,000 feet within 2 minutes. Let's see if we can zoom it in a little further. So 6,000 feet, and we got a minute to go, so that seems to work out just fine for us. I'm just checking the numbers really. So 5,500 feet, 36 seconds to go. And then the airplane should level off at 5,000 feet. So that works out quite nicely. It's a really handy feature to have the time it will take you to get there here in the top right. Okay, so we're changing direction, so that's good. So we're at 5,000 feet. No, not 4,000, 5,000. So our speed is still 250, so that's okay. There we should be at 230 knots. So we remain on this course for now. We're still in descent stage here, so that's also good. believe the airport should be to our right now. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's to our right. Okay, so let's just focus on flying this thing now, instead of being a tourist and looking out of the window. I'm going to reduce speed, so taking control of the speed management, we go to 230 knots. And the aircraft is doing this perfectly fine. There is 210 knots and 4,000 feet, although it doesn't show it on here, but it should be okay. So I believe we are almost at the flap speed. Maybe we can go flap 1. Let me just check here. I'm going to wait a little longer. There's a 5,000 feet, speed 230. There's a gust of wind, maybe. Maximum zoom. We're 1 minute away from Bravo Echo 312, where we will take a right turn. Excuse me. Just clear my throat every now and then. Preferably not straight into a microphone. Still in the descent stage, so that's also good. I'm going to turn on the landing system. It will pick up the ILS. We're turning now. All out of the ground spoilers. Power up the APU. Wait 1, 2, 3 seconds. Start it up. And turn on the nozzle steering lights and the takeoff lights or the taxi lights. And we reduce speed to 210 knots. And I'm also going to drop to 4,000 feet. Belgrade traffic, Lufthansa 812 on approach for ILS 30, altitude 4,800 feet. I do not believe there's any traffic here currently, but if there is, then they know what our intentions are, and well, not really our location, not really shared it actually, but okay. So speed 210, so flaps 1. So things are going to go a little faster now that we're getting closer. Zoom out a little bit. Hot star, so we're almost at 4,000 feet, so that's timed pretty nicely. Let's have a look here. We're turning to VSOC, and VSOC we should be at 4,000 feet. So that's, we got this, 4,000 feet VSOC, speed 210 maximum. So we can go over to the final approach chart, which we will probably not really need. We just need to keep on getting down. And intercepting glide slope at or below 2,840 feet. So after VSOC, let's have a look at the flight plan. There comes Juliet Alpha. And this will probably also show on the chart, I would hope. It's go back to the performance page, zoom out a little bit, and it does say so, that's good. So I guess it's fine to reduce the speed a little more now. We'll do 190, just to help us stabilizing the approach. We go to flaps 2. There you go. So the APU is available, so we turn on the APU bleed. All the lightings are on. That should all be good then. Let us also arm the speed brake. They go to the low position. We're now below the glide slope, so that's good news. The next altitude is 3,100. Not really sure how they say this. Are you supposed to be at or below, or at or above? In any case, doesn't matter too much because we'll be going down nonetheless. Maybe we arm it for now, 3,100. But we do not activate it just yet. So speed 190. You know what, let's arm the localizer. And we're captured by the localizer. Belgrade traffic. Lufthansa 8.2 captured by localizer ILS 30. Zooming in just a little more. We're slightly to the right of our track, but now the localizer is guiding us in. YBE 109.9. Let me quickly check something. Okay, so that's correct. Only it reads, it doesn't read the distance yet. Okay, so let's descend to 3,100 feet. And I'm also going to reduce the speed 160. Extend the flaps to 3. Oh, there's a little overspeed warning there. We're just in time. Or maybe slightly ahead of the time, really. So speed's dropping. There's the runway. Still below the glide slope. Alt star capture. I think we can 2,500. Flaps 4. Go to 2,840 feet. Oh, wait. 2,800 feet then. As long as we stay below the glide slope, everything should be fine. So we're going to go to reduce speed 150 for now and arm the approach as well. We are in the approach phase here too. That's good. So category 3 single, you can see here the Mouse still moving even after SIM update 7. It's just going sometimes. Category 3 single, let's turn on the AP2 as well. We should be able to make an auto land. Now we got category 3 dual. Glide slopes capture. Good, speeds 150. So the flaps are at full. Do we have a distance? It's not showing distance, but the Belgrade and the VOR is, but not really at the airport, I believe. We're going to drop the gear now. Belgrade traffic, Lufthansa 812, final approach captured by the glide slope localizer. Okay, so we notified traffic to be captured by the ground slope and by the localizer. We're descending, following the glide slope, it's good. So I think we are fully configured, unless I'm forgetting anything. The gear is down, the flaps are out, so the lights are on. So let's notify the crew that we're inbound for a landing. And the crew does not, usually doesn't say these things when you're not fully configured. So am I missing anything? There's the outer marker.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
There we go. So approach speed could actually be lower. It says now 136. So we just do it. 136.
1,000.
1,000 feet. Okay, so let's stick with this view for now. Look outside, beautiful. Okay, 500 feet. Get ready to disengage the autopilot.
400.
400.
300.
300.
100 above.
100 above.
200.
200, disengaging autopilot.
Minimum. 100.
100.
50. 40. 30.
Idle.
20.
Pitch up a little bit more.
5.
That seems like a rough landing. Reverses out. Knots, engines back to idle. Flaps can go up. So welcome to Belgrade, everybody. At least we've successfully touched down. Seemed like a little bit of a rough landing. I think it was within limits. Or maybe sort of. But I do prefer it a little lower. It seemed like the like the flare wasn't really flaring very much. Okay, so we're still rolling out here. Turning off the landing lights. And we exit the runway here. So I taxi to the gate. Belgrade traffic, Lufthansa A320 runway vacated. So let's take a ride here then. Well, before we turn into the gate there, let's see if these lights are all off. Oh wait, already turned them off. Oh, look at me. Okay, so let's turn now. Turn, do not stop in the middle of a turn. Okay. Oh, this jetway is positioned rather interestingly. Let's look outside. Yeah, that looks like it's going to hurt. Look at that. No, this looks wrong. I do not like this. I wanted to stop before. Let's do parking brake set. Let's see if we can get this thing out of the way. That looks funny. Passenger, let it go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? So the jetway is coming. Just forget that it merged with us for a second there. Here we go, jetway is coming. If you go to the doors page, as I showed you earlier, you can see that the cabin door there is opening. So first things first, let's turn off the engines. Engine number 2 and engine number 1. Let's see, they got external power available. Do they? Oh wait, what's it doing? Do we have external power available? Yes. We can turn off the APU now. Beacon light can go off. Seatbelt signs can go off as well. So welcome to Belgrade, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your flight. Thank you very much for checking the video. Looking forward to seeing you back at another one. Personally, I really enjoyed flying the Airbus again. It's been a while. I'd like to fly them a little bit more as well in the future, but also like to refine my skills in the DC-6, and we'll also do some short delivery flights using general aviation aircraft. And we might in the future also have a colleague of mine joining in for the stream, so that will be accompanied by a co-pilot. So I'm your personal funky scene pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. Thank you very much for checking. I will see you next time. Looking forward to it. Have a good day and be kind to one another. Okay, bye bye.